All right, welcome everybody to our TIBCO Energy Spotfire user group with our special guest from Azure here today. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to kick it off and hand it over to Michael O'Connell, who is our Chief Analytics Officer here at TIBCO.
Very good. Well, thanks, Kelly. I'm still in just sharing my screen here. 1 second. Yeah, today we're excited to have Microsoft with us to talk about Spotfire and other TIBCO software in the context of Azure. This is second in a series of events around our cloud partnerships and initiatives in data management analytics. And today we're joined by Vaibhav Gettajeri, who's going to be talking about anomaly detection at the edge, combining TIBCO with Azure, cognitive services, and Azure AI services. And then we have Catalina Herrera, Senior Data Scientist at TIBCO, who's going to describe the work that we've got going on with Microsoft in the OSDU context. And Kadri Ume, great to have you on board here today. And then we're going to wrap it up with a recap of what's just happened at TIBCO Now last month. And then we're really excited to announce the TIBCO Analytics Forum for next May. So that'll be the agenda for today. Ready to kick it off then, Kelly? We okay? Is there people who are on the call?
They are. We are good to go.
Okay, fantastic. So just by way of an introduction, a lot of you folks know we have a very strong focus in the energy sector, all the way from upstream exploration, production, to midstream, supply chain, performance risk, trading, and downstream refining, supply, and sales and marketing. The combination of Spotfire with data science and other data management, streaming, and so on is very powerful. So, in the upstream reservoir characterization, what's running here, this little video here is, we've got on the left-hand side here a neural network self-organizing map of a bunch of different seismic data channels that we've fit a 6 hidden unit neural network to, and we're now looking at a self-organizing map representation of that neural network where we can highlight different sections of that of the different weights of those six hidden units, and you can see that top bottom left-hand corner has got high weights on the 6, and on the right-hand side, you can see the actual rock and the patterns in the geology there that we've been able to elucidate visually in combination with the deep learning model. That sort of thing is very powerful in the analysis of upstream data. And now when you get into more the production side, now we're monitoring a bunch of equipment here. This is, if you go to our demo gallery on the website, there's a live version of this you can play with. But here we're setting alert thresholds on things like pressure and motor temperature in an artificial lift system. This is likely an electric submersible pump. And we're seeing how the values of those two sensor readings are changing over time. On the right-hand side, you can see the pressure and motor current. Anyway, you can see the pressure and current there changing over time. And then you can, as you set those thresholds, you can see how different wells are giving you alerts or exceptions based on those thresholds. So a lot of our customers have figured out how to do fairly sophisticated sets of exceptions around all their different artificial lift systems using this sort of technology, so that we can keep track of literally thousands of producing wells in terms of their status and exceptions regarding their condition and production capability. We've quite a lot of work with oil field services providers. We're the engine inside of Schlumberger's Delphi product line, both the data management as well as the visual analytics component of Delphi. We're doing a lot with OSDU. Catalina's is leading our effort there, and she's going to give you an update along with Kadri on what we're doing with OSDU R2 and R3 in partnership with Microsoft. And then, VibeHab's work, what we built for Microsoft Build, we are really good at anomaly detection. If you go to tibco.com solutions anomaly detection, you'll see a bunch of stuff up there. We've been developing models on time series, looking at multiple sensors in a cross-sectional analysis. We've been doing anomaly detection right there on the time series with a longitudinal analysis. We've even done spatial anomaly detection on wafer maps and other geospatial kind of structures. Really is a strong suit for us. And what we built with Microsoft at the Build conference was a combination of our anomaly detection work, Spotfire, TIBCO Data Science, Azure Cognitive Services, Azure AI Services. And really the quote here is the way I've tried to capture this is, with the wide range of services that Microsoft provides and the highly visual environment that we have with Spotfire and TIBCO Data Science, this pluggable building block architecture really brings out the best in both TIBCO and Microsoft. And so you can quickly see the time series data, spot the anomaly with various views in Spotfire running on a model that's been built in TIBCO Data Science, and then pull in a Microsoft Cognitive Services container to understand the text in the log file, to do key phrase extraction, to line up the anomaly and its key driving factor with the text that goes with it, so you can figure out what action you should take. And VibeHab's going to get into details on that. And in addition to Microsoft Build, we've also had a strong presence at the Ignite conference and the Microsoft Inspire conference. And here's an example where we were featured on the keynote address. I believe this was at Inspire with this solution that TIBCO plus Azure AI plus cognitive services for this anomaly detection solution. So we put a lot of work in, and as has Microsoft, into this partnership. We're pretty proud of it. We've got connections with our products across all of the Azure data sources with Spotfire and with our data virtualization product, with our data science product, a work in progress there, coming soon. The blue buttons here. Our streaming product can connect to a bunch of Microsoft data services, along with our data virtualization and master data management product. So pretty deep partnership here with Azure. And if you can think of it as a lot of different data sources there, whether they're streaming or at-rest data sources, being able to integrate those, federate those, provide virtual views, combining that with the cloud data services that Microsoft provides, Azure SQL, 2019, Azure Synapse, how those can be incorporated and combined with the highly visual nature of our TIBCO Data Science and TIBCO Spotfire product and our Data Streams product that runs in the cloud, so that we can call Azure Machine Learning services, cognitive services, example models from the Azure AI Gallery inside of our TIBCO environments, and then produce applications that we can host various operational systems, such as getting our models to run on the event stream with TIBCO streaming, running in a low footprint, at the edge with TIBCO Flogo, combining, those with Azure Kubernetes components for Kubernetes cluster deployment, and also running inside of the TIBCO Connected Intelligence Cloud, in addition to Azure. And the CIC, we have an Azure version, of that as well. So lots of stuff going on with TIBCO and Microsoft. And if you think about the way the Azure ML and cognitive services libraries can be readily called from TIBCO Data Science and TIBCO Spotfire through the Azure Python SDK, and just have a seemingly live interactive analysis happening in Spotfire, but really what's going on under the hood is that we are calling out to a containerized cognitive service pre-trained model or to a model that we've trained in Azure ML or TIBCO Data Science. But to the end user, it just looks like a seamless interactive analysis, but there's lots of components under the hood of that. And so here's an example of well, I thought I had a video there, but analyzing text, analysis, calling pre-trained models for sentiment and translation, as well as being able to build your own models for text analytics, and even being able to call a deep sort model for understanding traffic patterns. So why are we bothering with all the connectivity and analyzing our data in the cloud? Well, because most of our customers are moving their data to the cloud. It's pretty simple, right? So and the reason they're doing that is to reduce costs and provide efficiencies, elastic type capabilities and agility. So we've got a big effort with all of the cloud partners that we have. Today we're focused on Azure, but our last meetup we focused on Amazon. We'll be doing one with Google here pretty soon. So yeah, it's a strong set of investments we're making. And in the multi-cloud environment, when companies have multiple cloud systems, this is the new world version of what TIBCO data virtualization was invented way back 20 years ago to bust down silos that were occurring in banking, so that people didn't know they might have a checking account or a loan or an online banking and so on. These were all separate systems, and DV came in to bust down those silos and give a 360-degree view of data for those purposes. Well, the 360-degree view these days is a multi-cloud 360-degree view that DV provides, and then we can do our data science and visual analytics on top of that. At the back end, there can be multiple cloud systems, and that's kind of where we're at with Schlumberger at the moment, with the multiple back-end cloud systems. So yeah, so we support your move to the cloud. We're cloud agnostic and also multi-cloud, and we can bring to bear all of our products that you know and love into your chosen cloud provider or multi-cloud provider. So we'll make these slides available. There's a bunch of links here to the work we're doing with Microsoft, and the stuff that VibeHab's going to be showing as well, and Catalina. But let me hand off now to VibeHab to take you through the anomaly detection at the edge solution. So VibeHab, I'm going to stop sharing and you can pick it up from here.
Thank you so much, Michael.